All right, so I'm going to have this little in front of me because there's just so much I like to say on Mother's Day, and I just want to get you guys out of here in a succinct time and not be for an hour talking about all the things that I want to talk about. But I love Mother's Day because I just had, you guys have heard me talk about my mother a lot. I'm pretty sure she was gone by the time I came to Harmony, so I don't think any of you met her. But if you see me, you see her. We look alike, and our spirits are the same, very fiery. But she was like 4'11", just a little spitfire, and scared everybody, including us. So I wanted to share with you what my talks are generally about. There's three things that all the talks are trying to do. And that is just to get you to live with intention. Just to live intentionally. That's all these talks are about, to share with you how to live intentionally. Because if you don't, then you're going to be living somebody else's life. Because everybody has an opinion. I don't know if you've heard it or not. I don't know if anyone has shared an opinion with you or not. But yeah, if they have, you know that everybody has a thought about how you're supposed to be living, how everybody's supposed to be living. And so you want to be intentional so that you're living the life you're here to do. Because I think we're all here for a particular life, for a particular purpose. You're here with your God self to share that, what you know and what you're learning. And our experiences teach us a lot of things. And we're here to help each other with that. So the first thing is three things. One is to live intentionally. The second is to always have love show up, unconditional love. And the way that I do that, and the way I'm sharing with you that we do that, is to always be asking, what would love do here? It's not what I would do here. It's not what my ego would do here. But what would love do here? And when I ask that question, Spirit speaks to me. And I get to actually speak in a greater way, in a way that shows I know who you are. I see you. I see me in you because we are together in this. And so asking that question, so living with intention, always asking what would love do here? And when you do that, the third thing is what ends up happening is you keep ascending. You keep evolving, you keep ascending, you keep becoming the best you that you can be at any point in any time. So that's all. That's all these talks are about, is to help you do that. And so today I just really wanted to talk about moms and celebrate them because they're so amazing. And I know that when I have this talk, I know there are some people that when I have a talk, they're like, well, my mom wasn't like your mom. Of course not. She was my mom. Your mom is your mom. And my mother's mother was pretty much I think she was, we talked about this in the class this morning. I believe she was going through postpartum, what do you call it? Depression, yes. And I don't think she ever came out of it. I really don't. And so my mom didn't have a good life with her. In fact, she was given away when she was like 5 years old. And the worst thing was, not only was she given away, her older brother was given away, but the baby was kept. So so what does that say to you? And she was the only girl. So what does that say? She wasn't worth anything? So that's how she grew up. So for someone to have grown up that way, but still know the love of God, for whatever reason, God was in her. And you couldn't tell by her behavior, because she acted like a crazy person. But she was always loved. And what thing that she poured all of her love into was her children. And she had 4. And probably, being from a psychological perspective, she was probably reparenting herself through us, which is great. No problem. I'll accept it. That's what she did. But I learned a lot about what life looks like for me as a mom. So one of the things that I want to share with you, I'm through with this. There might be another thing I want to say, so I'll keep it up. I might come back and look at it. But what I want to say is that there's and I didn't capture it. I think I captured it a couple weeks ago, but I didn't capture it today. But there is a Bible quote that talks about God, Jesus, the Spirit, knowing you in the womb. Meaning before you were born, God knew you. Anticipated you being here. Must have, because how would you have a purpose if they didn't know, if the Spirit didn't know you were coming? Well, I think the same thing happens with moms. It's, I certainly didn't know what it was going to be like to be a parent. I was young. I was a young first-time mother. But the moment that I knew that baby was there, something changed in me. And it was all about kind of the mama bear thing. That just occurred. And it never goes away. And you don't have to have a baby for that to happen. I believe all women have that. If you have a womb, I think you have that. You have that ability to care about the youth that are under your care. Teachers, All kinds of things. And so that's kind of what I grew up with my mom. And so I'm just going to share some stories about how that shows up. And I remember, you probably, because I tell the same stories over and over again. So if you've heard it, well, just listen to it again. So I'm speaking in front of a large group of women. My daughter, she has to be at least a grown-up woman. She's at least of legal age. She's in the room. My sister's in the room. And we're sharing personal things. And she had, my daughter, which I didn't realize, she just didn't think that her body looked good. She was a size 8. She was tall, a size 8, and she didn't think she was too big. And so, I didn't know that. That came up in the room. And then she said she had gone somewhere to audition for being a model or something. And the person said she was too fat. Yes, okay, see, right there. So I did the same thing. I stopped my whole talk. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Who said that? What? And I'm walking over her just to get into this conversation with her about who said that. So I was going to get her. And my sister said, PJ, you're going to talk. Get back there. I was, oh, yeah, I'm sorry. No, we're going to talk about that later. There is no time, no place, nowhere where you're not concerned or thinking about your children. That's my daughter. Sons are a whole different thing. For sons, it's just about keeping them alive. Is it not? It's just about keeping them alive. Because they're very adventurous, they're bold, those consequences have nothing to do with what they do. Nothing. And so I remember coming home from work one night, because my mom and I lived together after I got my first divorce, and we lived together. It was a wonderful relationship. She worked in the day, I worked at night, so it was really beautiful. So I come home at night, and my mom meets me at the door. Now, this is what you want from somebody to meet you at the door and say, now don't get upset. It's not as bad as it looks. Sorry, what now? What's happened? So I go upstairs and I see my boy, and he's got like a huge knot. Huge knot upside his head. And I'm like, okay, so what happened? All right, so this is what happened. So him and my daughter, and I don't know how I think she was just watching. I'm sure she didn't get involved. But so it was a duplex up and down. So my son would walk in the house during the day. He'd walk in the house, go upstairs, and he'd say, hi, Grandma. And she'd say, hi, son. And then he'd come back, and he'd go, hi, Mom. She'd go, hi, son. And like third time, she's like, what's going on here? So he goes, and what he's doing is he's jumping out the second-story window into the dumpster. So he hit something, probably the side of the dumpster. Can you believe that? The last time, and so this huge knot was upside his head. So it didn't occur to you, son, at all, that there might have been something in there, some glass, some bottle, nothing, none of that, no, not a thing. And so so these are the things that we get to do, and it's not just about your kids. I think that once you're a woman, you have this woman. You're looking out for all the kids that are in your realm. I have a reputation with my family. Oh, you don't want Pam to see it, because I'll say something. I don't just let you do crazy stuff. And so we were we were having breakfast. I had the boys and the cousins and everybody. We were all sitting there having pancakes. And I look over my sister's son, and he's got just napkins bunched all over the place, clearly not using them. I don't know why they're bunched up, because you're not using them, because there's like butter on the side of your face over here and something else sliding down your mouth. And I'm like, who can eat? And he's eating with his mouth open. And so I'm like, oh, son, listen, we don't do it this way. Wipe your mouth. There's other people here. The napkins are actually to be used. Wipe your hands off. You're constantly looking around and helping other kids be what they're going to become. This is our job, right, as moms? We're looking to the future. What's my job? What's my role right now to help you become a great part of society, where people to have a great life? What are all the things you need to know? And we don't know what those things are until they come up. But that's what we do. I know that you talk about your kids, Carter, and your class, and things that you're trying to get them to understand. They're young. They're not going to necessarily get what you're saying until later on. They reflect, oh, that's what she meant. Doesn't mean you don't say it. You say it. and just let it sit there. They'll grasp it or they won't. But it's ours to do. That's what moms do. I love that about what we do. And so I wanted to bring up those stories to keep reminding us of the moms that we had. And maybe they weren't the moms that you wanted. Maybe not. My mom's mom wasn't the mom that she wanted. But here's another thing that I know about life. The experiences that you have shape you. I think if my mom didn't have the mom that she had, I wouldn't have had the mom I had. You get that? And I had a great mom. My mom was fierce. She was a lioness. I knew, first of all, I knew that I couldn't lie. I knew I had to tell the truth. But whatever I told her, she would believe me. And she would go to bat for me, even against my father. She would go to bat for me. Denzel Washington said, and this is when I want to read this quote because I don't want. He said, "A mother is her child's first true love. A mother is her child's first true love. The child is the mother's last true love." Okay? You hear that? A mother is her child's first true love, and the child is the mother's last true love. I will always, always think about my kids. No matter what they do, no matter how old they are. It's great. My son is like 6'4", I think. His son is 6'3" or 6'4" at this point. He's 15. My boy is in his 50s, I think. So he's still my boy. I don't care. He's towering over me. He's huge. Who cares? That's my boy. And if I say something, he's going to pay attention. Because he knows, I don't care how big you are. Buddy, I'll take you down. You know I will. I don't care about that. Because I'm the mom. You're the mom. You have a right. When I was, and I'm going to tell you a couple more stories, but when I was working for the California Youth Authority, I was a peace officer, a counselor within an institution. And I always work with boys. I don't know, I always got to work with boys. And I always treated them like they were my kids. Because they were a kid that I was in charge of and that I would take care of. And I was taking them to church. You walk them to church. They're in a row, so you can see everybody. They're in a row. They walk to church, and you walk them back. And they're supposed to be quiet and all this. So they walk to church. They're all quiet. And like as soon as they get in there, and I'm in the back. I'm in the back watching them, and they're supposed to just go and sit in a row. They're supposed to just take this next seat. Just get the seat that's next to yours. So I'm in the back, and it stops. I'm like, what's going on here? So I walk up to the front, and there's a kid who wants to sit next to another kid, so he's blocked the way. Nobody else can get in. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. Everybody get up. Everybody up. Get out. Let's go. Everybody's going. Nobody's there. Shut up. Nobody talk. And they did. Everybody just did exactly what I said because they knew that I meant business. And they went back to the room that they were supposed to be in, and I locked them down in their rooms. And then I pulled two guys out that I knew were the leaders, and I said, what's going on? What happened? And they go, well, let him tell him. Okay, back in your room you go. Back, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. So an hour later, I called him back. I said, tell me what happened. Okay, well, this is what happened. Okay, well, we're not doing that. So we pulled everybody back out, told them what was going on. And that's what I do. And one of the things that happens is when you do that, they knew that I was the person they could come talk to when they were in trouble. I wasn't afraid of anyone. Not them, not the guy that's going to beat them up, no one. So anytime they're in trouble, they know that they can come to me. This is what moms do. I don't care what happens in my life. I have a mom that I can go to. And now I don't, but I talk to her anyway. I still do. I still talk with her spirit because I know what she would say. I know what she would say. I know how she would comfort me. How much is your mom or your mom figure? And maybe, again, I don't want to make assumptions. I don't know what your mom was like. But I know what moms are trying to do. And I know what we need. And I know that whatever is going on is teaching you also how to be a mom. Jim was showing me this picture, this video. Was it a swan or a swan? It's a swan mother. I love it. And she had a cute little fuzzy little swan ducklings, and they were swimming. And they were on her back, and she had her little wings up a little bit, and they were like on her back. And they're just going around. And then one fell off, and she just kept on swimming. She didn't wait. And you don't wait, because he had to figure out what happens if you fall off. Get back up. And he got back up. He figured it out, and that's what happens. So we don't know. As a mom figure, you don't exactly know. But what happens is you just say, what's the best thing for this kid right now? For who I'm talking to, what do they need to know? And it just comes to you. It just does, and we have to trust that. We have to trust that instinct. We all have it. I know some women think they don't, but you do. You have it. Maybe you're not comfortable using it. I'm very comfortable with very comfortable with saying this is it's not right. I want to say something. You do what you want to with it, but I'm going to say something about it because that's my job. That's our job. As adults, as moms, even as fathers, not even as fathers, but as fathers, even as men, is what I'm saying, as grown-ups, that we get to help the next generation. We get to help the next generation, not just in our family, but I talk to kids that I don't even know. I was at a grocery store, and this is really the last story. I was at a grocery store. I can't how you said it. All right, so I was at a grocery store, and this kid was in the seat basket, in the seat of the grocery basket. And he's facing where the mom would be, but the mom was in the front, and she was pulling the basket behind her, and she was just throwing things in as she went, right? Well, while she was doing that, the kid was in the back taking stuff off the counter and just flipping them on the floor, right? Like, she can't hear this, right? And I'm just watching her going, hey, that's not my child. The mom is there. I'm not going to get involved in that. No, thank you. But when I got in line to go pay my groceries, that she was there. And she was putting her, again, she's in the front, putting her stuff on the line to be paid, and the kid is back there looking at me. Okay, that's fine. You can look at me, whatever. But then he reached up and hit me. And then I just went, bam, and hit him as hard as I possibly could, and waited for the mother to turn around and say something. I don't know if she heard it or saw it or didn't want to get involved. She just kept on doing what she was doing. The kid just looked at me like, oh, yeah, honey, there's consequences. You don't get to, you don't know me. Even if you did know me, you never would have reached out to hit me. That's number one. But number two, what am I going to do? Just let this kid hit me? And then what? Go tell the mom? And what? No. Immediate consequences. And why do I know that? Because that's what I was told to do. Show him what happens when he does something he's not supposed to do. And I mean, I hit him hard. I wasn't trying to just give him a little tap. I hit him hard. So he just, well, I have a right to do. You hit me? These are consequences. This is what happens when you grow up. This is what we're trying to show our young people. What happens when you grow up? What does it take for you to be an adult? To care about people, to talk about the things that matter to you, but also to consider that what they're thinking about matters as well. That's the job of a mom. We take it on. We do it till we die. And even beyond, my mom is dead, and still she's mothering me. I feel it. That's our job. It's a job that I love. I'm glad to have. And it's not just about the kids that I have birthed. It's about all kids because we have wisdom. That's our job, to share it. How else is our community going to be and learn and understand and become what we're supposed to become if we don't do our job to share with them what's supposed to happen? So I think I have a last quote I want to share. Oh, yeah. I just read this. Another friend of mine, woman, she sent me this poem from a woman called Pjae. And it's a poem called Ascension. I'm not reading you the poem. I'm just telling you if you want to go look at that. It's a great poem. It's called Ascension, and it's for women. But this is the things that she says. She said, she's talking to women, and she said, you will never learn to be a woman until you get to see a woman. You can't be one until you see one. And that's our job as women, to show the young women what it's like, what's yours, what's expected of you. Even to say that's not necessarily the correct thought. What makes you think that? And to challenge the thinking, to challenge your thinking. I had a group of girls when I lived in Waco, and I called them it was called the YAC, the Youth Action Committee is what I talked to them. And I wanted them to know that they were important to the community. And so we did a lot of community things. But beyond that, I also taught them other things, like the fact that if a guy asked her out for a date, but he didn't come to the door and knock on the door, don't go running out because he honked the horn. Don't do that. No, make him come to the door. Make him respect you. And then she said, well, what if he don't honk the horn? Then let him go on. Well, why would you want him? I mean, what if he doesn't come to the door? Then let him go on. Why would you want someone that mistreats you? That's being mistreated. And just showing people, just showing girls what it's like. What's the expectation? You set the expectation as a woman, right? That's all. That's all I want to tell you. And again, the talks that I'm doing are just about principles that we can share with other people. It's not just about you individually. I'm talking about certain stories, but it's all about us as a person. We all get to use this. This is what we do. I think as an adult, and you've already been through some stuff, we can speak up. We get to share some information. Now, I've always said, you can't answer a question that hasn't been asked. But if you see somebody in trouble, If you see something going wrong, you can certainly intervene and say, have you thought about this? Is this possible? And go ahead and share that wisdom. You have wisdom. We have wisdom. And I don't think moms are too shy about sharing that. Certainly teachers are not. Moms are not. Grandmothers are not. That's our job. Everybody knows this. So nobody's going to say, well, what are you talking to me for? Because I'm a woman, I'm your mom. And what'd your mama say? Where's your mama at, by the way? That's my first question I ask. Where's your mom? Where's your mama at? That's it. We just keep on swimming. That's what this is about. You just keep on swimming. You just keep on doing whatever it is you're doing. You keep on asking, what would love do here? And that's how I act when I'm out and about and I'm thinking about what's mine to do. What would love do here? And I don't think there's any greater love than the love of a mother for the children. And so it is.